All right. So for our first class, and this is in Rancho Margo, Costa Rica, at the base of the La Fortuna Mountains. This first class is for beginners. So you've never done yoga before, you work out, but this is my introduction to yoga class. Whether you've done yoga hundreds of times or this is your first time ever, this is a good class to go through. It takes you back to the basics. We're going really slow here. And the purpose is just to really understand why you're doing yoga, to reconnect with your body. Maybe you haven't done any physical activity in a long time, and your body is just full of tightness, tension, and it's even hard to sit down. So this introduction to yoga class is just for you. I'm going to do it in a 30-minute segment. It's going to be mostly on your mat, but it's a great way to get in tune with your body. So this, if you look at yourself, you might notice you're sitting like this, kind of rounded over, hunched forward. This is not leading to a healthy spine. What we want to do is we want to sit up straight. So lengthen, sit up tall, lift your shoulders up to your ears, roll your shoulder blades back together, and then press your shoulders down towards your mat. And you see how my chest has opened up. Now close your eyes and start to focus on your breath. No matter where you are, whether it's in Costa Rica or the comfort of your own living room, take in your environment first. What you hear, what you feel, and always check in with your posture. Now just take a couple moments here to tune in with your breath. And very simple breath today. You're just going to inhale in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. Blink your eyes open, bring awareness back to your environment, and of course back to your posture. And then we're going to start our first posture of the day. And this might not be accessible for everyone, but this is just an option. Notice how my ankles are crossed. I'm going to roll over my ankles onto my hands and knees, like that. If that doesn't work for you, just find your way onto your hands and knees. All right, and the first pose is called a tabletop position. So your hands are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips, and you have a neutral spine. Spread your fingertips as wide as you can, and breathe. The first thing you're going to focus on is the forward and backward movements of your spine. First pose, cow pose. You're going to press your belly down, you're going to lift your tail, roll your shoulder blades back together, and then drop the back of the head to the back of your shoulders. And before you do anything else, just take a moment here to appreciate this backward curve of your spine. You'll see I have a nice dip in my lower back. The double S curve of my spine has just made a U. Now the next posture, opposite direction, is cat pose. So round through your shoulders, arc your back, tuck your tail in to meet your tummy, and now you have the complete forward fold of your spine. Now my shoulder blades are spreading apart, my rib cage is collapsing in towards one another. Forward fold, cat pose. Now, on your own, alternate in between the two. Inhale brings you to cow. Exhale into cat. Now do this several times at your own pace. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. That spine going forward and backwards, flowing like a wave. Each time you do this, try to get a little more range of motion, a little more flexibility. And after you've done that for a couple of moments, start to transition into what I like to call organic movements, meaning I'm just going to shift around into my hips. Oh, I'm going to twist into my side body. Yep, there's some clicks. There's some pops that you're going to work out. So we all have different lifestyles, different body types. And because of this, we all have different movements that we want to make. You want to listen to your body. You can also plant your fist into the ground, tops of your hands, get everything moving other ways. But where are those areas of tightness? What movements is your body asking for? Very nice. And then we'll return to tabletop. So we already focused on the forward and backward movement of our spine. Now we're going to move the twisting position of our spine. So back in tabletop, I'm just facing you now. You're going to inhale, twist and rotate your right arm up towards the sky. Keep your shoulders stacked over one another. Look up your right shoulder. Then you're going to exhale, thread the needle. Take your right arm through your body, bring your ear and shoulder to your mat. And breathe here. So I'm going to take my left hand and place it under my left shoulder. I take a big inhale, and on the exhale, I press my hand into the mat and I twist deep. Inhale, I'm going to take a break and relax. And then I exhale again, and I twist even more. All right. So that would be level 1. Every exhale, you're trying to go deeper. If you'd like to go even further, you can lift up your left arm straight up, bend your arm at your elbow, and place your hand to the outside of your hip. But just make sure you're rotating your shoulder back around. And now let's place your left hand back on the mat. Inhale, unthread the needle, complete the motion, come all the way back up. And then exhale, bring it down. Very good. Same thing, other side. Inhale, you lift your arm up. Exhale, thread your needle, coming all the way through. Hand to your mat, find your leverage point. I prefer to keep my hand down because I have more leverage. See, twists are very good. So if you think about a twist, you can trace your tailbone from the back, from your tailbone all the way up to the back of your head, and then you're going to notice how your vertebrae slide and twist away from one another. When your vertebrae slide like this, they form the natural spaces that they need. Now I'm going to press my hand back down and inhale, thread my arm up. And remember, you have the option to move into that bind. Back to tabletop. All right. So now moving on towards your wrists. Let's take your fingertips to the outside. Hands are directly under your shoulders. You take a big inhale. Now exhale, let's slowly start to rock over so your shoulder goes over your fingertips, and you're going to get a nice stretch here in your forearm. Some people aren't going to be able to go very far at all. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, let's lean over your other shoulder and get a little stretch there. So now flow with it. Flow meaning inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you lean over your other shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale. Each time, trying to get a little bit further, a little more range of motion. Listen to your body. You're not trying to crank on your wrist or anything. You just want to create a nice little stretch in your forearms. And from here, we'll shake it out. So I'm going to shake it out, put my fist, top of my hands, back into the mat. Now, if you want to go deeper, you're going to take your fingertips from your outside and point your fingertips towards your knees, palms facing the mat. Right, now I'll let you see it from the side. So hands under your shoulders, take a big inhale, exhale, sit your butt back, and wow, it's a big stretch on your forearms. And you're gonna feel this pretty deeply, especially if you spend a lot of your time over a keyboard or playing video games with your hands folded forward. This is gonna help prevent carpal tunnel and arthritis. And then I'm gonna come back up. And just to go a little bit more, I'm gonna sit back again, but this time you lift the heels of your hands up and that starts to get even more. Right, so a lot of times we get arthritis because our hands are always folded forward, so your blood movement and your muscles kind of freeze in that way, and that's how you get those hand diseases. When you get things going the opposite way, like we just did, that helps keep everything fluid and mobile. Come back up to standing and shake it out. Whew. Now we're going to start to build and get into our legs and our lower body. Take a big inhale. Exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, knee over your ankle. Now let's go back into some organic movements here. You're just going to bend and straighten your leg as much as comfortable for you. And I did some running earlier today, so I have lots of tightness in my hamstring and hips, so I'm just going to move accordingly. And it's going to be different for everyone. Remember that. Listen to your body. You better not be at home right now and trying to do exactly what I'm doing. Listen to yourself. And there's also the option to lift up the inside edge of your foot, and that's going to isolate more on the outside of your leg. So really good, lean forward, whatever. Try to close your hips, scissor your hips. Listen to your body. And then exhale, you'll step back into your tabletop. Shake it out, give your little tail a wag. Left foot, outside of your left hand, knee over your ankle. Same thing, bend and straighten. So, this is when you start to notice the difference between the right side of your body and the left side of your body. So I'm right-handed, so that means my right side of the body is generally a little bit stronger because I do more stuff with it. So I find why my right side is stronger, it's not nearly as flexible. And I also notice that it's way more intense whenever I stretch. So which is your dominant side? Which is your more flexible side? And maybe it's different for you. Maybe you're equally flexible or more flexible on your dominant side. And come back up, tabletop. And that's the cool thing about this, you learn a lot about your body. And we're gonna build on top of that. Next movement, you're again gonna step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, knee over your ankle. But this time you're gonna slide your left leg back. And we're not gonna try, if you need to lower down to your knee, you can, but let's try to keep it up. You wanna press your back heel down, back leg straight and strong. And then I'm gonna take my left hand, my right hand, I'm gonna rotate it up towards the sky. Now I'm gonna go away from you a little bit, but you can see what it looks like from the back side. So inhale, easy twist. I lift my right arm and twist. Take a big inhale. Now exhale into a plank position. And this is when it starts to get a little bit difficult. I'm going to step my right foot back to meet my left. And it's a straight line from the back of my head to my heels. Right? We're not sagging my belly. That's a no-no. You're not sticking your tail into the sky. Straight line. So engage your core. Now I'm going to slowly take the left foot to the outside of my left hand. Slow as possible. Knee over your ankle. Back leg straight and strong. Very good. My right hand's directly underneath my right shoulder. And then I'm going to inhale, twist, and rotate my arm up. So my shoulders are stacked on top of one another. It's bone on top of bone. Take a nice deep breath here. Exhale, plank. Just bring your hand down, step your foot back. Now, a little bit of challenging here. We're holding this for a little bit longer. Your fingers are spread wide. Hands directly under your shoulders. Engage through your tailbone. Now, if you want to go into more challenging, if you're fit, you can lower down to your forearms. Fit or feeling frisky, come down to your forearms. Inhale, come back up. Oh. All right, exhale, lower down. Let's go flow through this 2 more times. And notice how I'm making lots of noise? Let's be mindful here and slowly lower down. Good. Inhale up. Now I'm starting to shake. I'm starting to tremble. One more task. One more challenge. Keep your elbows pinched into your side. And then slowly lower down. Slow motion, slow motion. Onto your belly. Good. Now release your feet, tops of your feet to your mat. And you could have your chin to your chest. Notice my elbows. I want to keep them into my ribs. Now press your shoelaces, the tops of your feet, into your mat so that your knees lift up off the ground. And now from here, squeeze your glutes. So think about your quadriceps. Flex them. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your butt together. And this keeps your lower body active and engaged, which is going to protect your lower back from these poses we're doing next. So first things first, low cobra. You're going to lift your palms, lift your chin, lift your chest off your mat. So this looks kind of easy, but it's very uncomfortable. Very challenging core exercise. You roll your shoulders away from your ears. Now think about your lowermost rib. Lift that off the mat even higher. I'm still squeezing my glutes and my quads to protect my lower back. And now let's flow through it. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift back. Exhale, come back down. And don't forget to take nice deep breaths to relax and let any tension out so you can be vocal here, especially in the comfort of your own house. So now it comes a little, this is going to be a tutorial section. We're going into upward dog. Peak pose will be upward dog, right? So there's 4 levels to this. This was level 1. We'll call this low cobra. Lower down. Level 2 is called baby cobra. So you're going to press your hands into your mat. You're not coming up all the way, but your elbows stay bent. I'm still squeezing my glutes and my quads. And this prevents all the tension to dump into your lower back. So I lift up, I roll my shoulders back down away from my ears, and look ahead. Take a big inhale, exhale, lower down, and that's baby cobra. Next movement is cobra. That means I straighten my arms, I come all the way up, and I'm going to have to walk my hands a little bit back so they're directly under my shoulders, still squeezing my glutes, still squeezing my quads. No, I'm lifting up. So resist the temptation to shrug your shoulders, to hang down. You want to lift up tall and strong. And if this is really painful on your lower back, get out of this. Come back here to here or here. All right? And then one more level just for fun. So this is your cobra. Press your shoelaces into your mat. Knees lift up. Upward dog. Ooh! You can howl at the moon. All right, so here you are. Your shoulders are back. And this is designed to stretch the front of your body. Like your dog does every day. It stretches the front, and then it stretches its back. Exhale, lower down, and that was a long time to hold that. I'm sure you found that challenging. Exhale, come down. And shake it out. Take a big inhale. Exhale, child's pose. So you're going to take your knees wide to the outside edges of your mat. You're going to take your heels in together, and then you're going to sit back on your heels. Very good. From here, you take a big inhale. Exhale, bring your forehead to your mat. And you sit back here. And breathe. You rest. See, now if I was here in class right now, I'd be walking around and giving you some nice pressure on your lower back. So you have a friend around, a partner around, maybe ask them to push right down on your sacrum, that area above your back, at your lower back, excuse me. But otherwise, this is a resting pose. I'm going to speak at you through under my armpit. Typically, your head is into your mat, and you're breathing. So at any time in any yoga class, if you get tired, this is a great pose for you to get in. All yoga teachers know that we want to let you stay here because you need a rest. It's very internal. You're closed in towards yourself, and you're able to breathe. But this is also good for stretching out your shoulders. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So you're going to take your fingertips and you're going to walk your fingertips towards the top of your mat as high as you can. Right? As high as you can, your fingertips are going up. And then you're actually rolling your shoulders back away from your ears. So fingers go forward, shoulders go back. Now, press your fingertips into your mat so that your palms lift up off your mat, so that your elbows lift off your mat. And this right now might start to get really intense for you. Focus on pinching your shoulder blades together and allow your rib cage to spread apart. And now you're going to lower and lift your shoulder. So I'll lower my left shoulder and lift my right, and that isolates my left side body. It's really deep. Try it on your own. Exhale, go to the other side. And now find some organic movements here. Just kind of work into your shoulders, your side body. If you walk your hands away from one another, that changes the focus of the stretch. And take a big inhale. Exhale, relax. So we're going to build onto another variation of that. So this is child's pose. We're going to move into puppy pose. So you're going to slide on up, take your hips over your knees. And my knees were wide, so that means I'm stepping my knees in towards one another, hips stacked over my knees. Everything else is the same, but look what the small change in your legs does. I now bring my forehead to the mat, but now I have more of a back bend, and I can still take my fingertips, press them into my mat, lift it up, and that makes a much deeper stretch on my shoulders and side body. So this is like level 2, right? I'm lowering and lifting, but I'm also focusing on having a deep back bend. So try to find a nice cow-like bend in your lower back, really pinching your shoulder blades together and allowing your rib cage to spread apart. And don't forget to maintain space between your ears and your shoulders as your shoulders go back towards your hips. And then release. One more treat. Press your hands together into a prayer. Now bend your arms at your elbows and place your prayer hands above your head to the back of your neck. And this is going to focus on more of your underarms. And breathe. If you want to go deeper, you walk your elbows up a little bit more, shoulders back away from your ears. Take a big inhale, exhale, tabletop. Bring your hands back down and walk yourself up.